Hello, folks. Today we're going to talk about the Drosophila anatomy. It's a very important aspect when we try to study anything related to any living organism. The first thing that we need to understand is how the living organism has been built, what kind of structures are there, and those structures, how they are actually performing, or what are the rules of those structures. So these things are really important to know. In this topic, we're going to talk about the Drosophila anatomy. This is a series of the videos, and I'm going to try to explain each and every aspect of the anatomy. So when it comes to anatomy, two things are really important. One is the external uh, anatomy, and the second thing is the internal anatomy. So these two things are really the main things that we look. Uh, so in this video, what my focus is, I'm going to give you a holistic view. What I mean by holistic view is I'm going to try to tell you about different resources which are actually going to help you to understand the anatomy of the Drosophila. Alongside, I'm going to also give you guys the idea about how actually complex or what kind of things are there when we try to study the Drosophila anatomy. And yeah, step by step, I'm gonna try to cover this whole series of the Drosophila anatomy, and it's going to be a very interactive and it's going to be very natural. I'm not gonna, pretend that I know everything about the Drosophila anatomy, and also I'm gonna try to increase um, the knowledge space in a very natural pace. Most of the time, when we try to see the resources, anything about any resources, when we try to study something, that they are actually scattered. So this actually really, makes people confused. And what I'm trying to do here right now is I'm going to be very natural, and so you can hear, or while doing experiment, or you can watch the video in a very natural way. Anyway, so first of all, let me open some. I've already opened some of the things. So you know the first thing in every kind of study is we need to understand the terminologies. This is very important, and I just write this word anatomy in Google, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you an idea that biology or life sciences is all about terminologies. The first uh, problem or the first challenge for any life science student is to understand the meaning of terms. So, first of all, anatomy is the scientific study of the physical structure of humans, animals, and other living things, and it looks at how body parts are built, shaped, and organized. So, actually, this is of course an AI overview of this word anatomy, and actually, when I was trying to come up with some definition for the anatomy, so we can interpret it properly or we can understand it properly, um, I was thinking that I should go for some very good resources for this word. But to my surprise, when I searched this terminology, I think this definition is very balanced, and it helps us to understand the terminology in a very balanced way. If you see here, it's all about the physical structure. This is the first thing that you need to keep in mind. When we say the term anatomy, the first thing that we need to understand is it's all about the physical structure. And the second thing is we need to understand when we try to understand the anatomy, we need to understand that how different parts are built and how different parts are shaped and how different parts are organized. So I think this terminology encompass and it's actually tell us about the two things. One is the physical structure, and the second, which actually talk about the build, the shape, and the organization. So, since we're going to talk about the Drosophila anatomy, we need to understand that um, actually the Drosophila go through a life cycle where um, it becomes an adult. Right now, we're going to focus on the adult anatomy. We're not going to talk about the larval stage, we're not going to talk about the pupal stage, but to just give you an idea, if you are very new to this Drosophila field, or if you are very new to this introduction to Drosophila, so I just want to tell you about um, the life cycle, and it's a very simple life cycle. And on a very good day, the Drosophila takes around 10 days to become adult. So when the mating happens between the male and female, the embryos are produced, let's say for the sake of the life cycle on the day one, then the fertilization happen, and then we have on the day two the first instar larvae, then we have second instar larvae, and then we have third instar larvae, and then we have a stage which is called the pupation, and it takes around 6 to 8. The day 6 and 8 is the pupa, and then it's finally become an adult. So today in this video, I'm going to focus on the anatomy of the adult. And of course, moving on, we're going to talk about every part of the anatomy and at every stage. So as I mentioned earlier, that this video is just the introduction, or it's just give you the holistic view, and at the same time I'm gonna let you guys know about the different resources from where you can get a bunch of information. um, and it's resources are so much that if you just try to study the anatomy, it's going to take years to understand the anatomy, and it's thanks to the this incredible organism. It's been around more than 100 years of research has already been happened, and it's doing really well, because Drosophila has never disappointed so far. In any case, whether we talk about the embryogenesis, whether we talk about the taste, whether we talk about studying the mechanosensation, whether we talk about studying development, whether we talk about studying toxicity, this incredible model organism, this incredible creature has, has been a very, um, has been a very good soldier, I would say, because when you if you guys have any experience working with Drosophila, um, the Drosophila melanogaster or any other species of the Drosophila, um, it sacrifice a lot every day. We murdered a lot of Drosophilas actually. Anyway, let's focus on the so this particular link is very important. So just try to search this link. You guys gonna see this website. When I was trying to search about how I'm gonna explain the anatomy, so I try to come up with a lot of resources. Of course, when you Google something nowadays, you're gonna find a bunch of resources. So my job is to give you the best of the best resources. So first of all, if you are a very new person to this field or to this model organism, this link is very important because it's going to give you a very good idea about different parts, how they are built. As I mentioned, that anatomy is not only about the physical structure, it's about the build, it's about the shape, and it's about the organization. So this website actually tells you about these kind of things in a very systematic way. So let's suppose, so as we know that in the view we have two options, the lateral option and the dorsal option, and then we have the zoom on option and the off option. Um, so let's look at the dorsal view. So if you see Drosophila, it's a very simple model organism. If you look at um, the structure, the anatomy, we have a mouth part, we have a head part, we have, of course, we have this thorax part, and then we have the abdomen part. And these are the legs, as we can see, and these are the wings. Uh, so um, so this resource in next videos I'm going to talk about each of the structure, but just I want to let you know that if you see from the lateral side, and you need to just click here. If let's suppose I click here, this is a proboscis. So and there's a short, a very brief definition of that organ part. So let's suppose if I click here, it's a compound eye, and then if I click here, it's called the mesonotum. If I click here, these are part of the abdomen, and of course you can click on every part, and there will be as I mentioned, there will be a very short and brief introduction. So I think if you guys are new to this field, I would highly recommend to explore this website. Now, the next resource that I'm going to tell you is when we talk about anatomy, we need to understand. So this, I must recommend this paper because this paper actually explain the major parts of the anatomy, and the most important thing about this paper is it presents the SIM, the scanning electron microscope anatomy atlas, and we know that, and we have an idea that scanning electron microscope, uh, it it does its job really well when it comes to exploring the very unknown anatomical parts of any living thing. So you need to read this paper. I'm going to give you just a quick overview. If you see here, this is the figure one, which explain the habitus of the third instar larvae, and then we have the figure two. Again, it's about the larvae, and then we have the figure three. Again, it's about the denticles. These kind of um, these kind of like spine-like structure. So um, uh, it has a lot of good images, and I think this is one of the best paper if you want to know about the anatomy of the Drosophila. Then we know about flybase. If you are unaware about the flybase, then that means you need to look. This is an excellent website, and I think this is the most powerful database so far. The UI is very good. You can find everything about the Drosophila melanogaster on this database. So you need to go to this link if you're really interested to know about the different anatomical structures, how they are organized, and um, so this will provide you a lot of information. This. If you click here, it's gonna explain about the adipose. So the stage, larva stage, beta. So a lot of things are here. So what I want to show you, normally people don't look into these kind of resources. There are some posters also, and these posters are really really interesting. So let's suppose if I just click on the wings, you're gonna see that Drosophila melanogaster, there are different kind of the wing shapes, and it's gonna take some time to load. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is this is an external resource. So here we go. So if you see body color and wing mutant, so there are so many things. Like you just need to sit down, and have some sneaks and try to explore everything about the anatomy. So this, um, particularly this page is really, really important when it comes to exploring the anatomy of the Drosophila. Then we have another resource which is the Atlas of the Drosophila development. This is also a very excellent resource. You can go through each part, and sometimes when we talk about the Drosophila melanogaster, the researchers are working on a very specific system or a specific organ. So if you're working on tracheal system, so you can just click here the tracheal system, and it's going to give you a very quick and a very brief overview about this system. And of course, this resource, again, I'm telling you, is when you search about the Drosophila anatomy, you're going to find a lot of resources. But I think what I'm going to cover here, I think these are the best one. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but the thing is, that's I think I know that these resources help me a lot when I'm trying to learn about the any anatomical structure when it comes to Drosophila melanogaster. So these days, people are really really taking help from this website, Virtual Fly Brain. The important thing about this website is you can find a lot of things about the neurons, the networks, the connections, and the structure of the different. So this actually really tells about the internal anatomy, um, and and as I mentioned in the start, that there are two aspects when it comes to anatomy: the internal and then the external. So here you can query your anything if you want to know, like let's suppose if you want to know about the adult central brain, and if I want to know about the adult cerebrum, and in the adult cerebrum, let's see, I want to see the protocerebral bridge or anything related to this. So see, it's just we can see in the we can see in the 3D view also. So just explore this, try to explore this. In the coming videos, I'm going to explain also how we can um, get help from the virtual fly brain when it comes to our research. So again, we have another resource from Jadida Research Campus. If you're a Drosophila researcher, then you must know about this research campus. Amazing, amazing. Again, yet again, it's a very good website. So, as already mentioned, that the Flylight project produces the large anatomical data sets and highly characterized collection of the GALFO, LAXI, split GALFO drivers. So, if you're a new researcher, what I recommend you guys to do is just save everything that I'm trying to show you right now, and then explore um, according to your need. And then again, we have another very good website if you are working on the fly gut. It's Atlas of the Drosophila adult midgut. So this is going to tell you about everything when it comes to gut. And again, it's a very good resource. Nowadays, people are really, really interested to explore the Drosophila gut or the fly gut. So this resource is very, very important. So far, what we have learned is I'm going to get back to my PPT. I'm not a good fan of making PPTs. I think making PPTs nowadays is very easy, but I try to stay natural as possible because um, if you're naturally talking and if you're naturally conveying your message, I think it's gonna be more, interesting rather than I should just make a very curated and a very very just set of slides where I'm trying to explain everything, and it's just very difficult to explain, to be really honest. So that's why I'm just trying to open those sites, and I'm trying to tell you. Now, what we know is, as I mentioned, that it's just give us the holistic overview, uh, and let me know if I miss something. If I miss something, let me know. But I believe these resources and these links and these websites are enough for anybody if they want to know about the Drosophila anatomy. And if you go through these resources and the things that I mentioned, I believe it's going to be a good start for you, rather than just going through some scattered information, which is sometimes really difficult to understand. So again, thank you for watching, and see you. Oh shit, I'm really bad with this. So thank you again. Uh, with a big exclamation marks, number of exclamation marks. So that means I'm really grateful for you guys if you watch this whole video. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.